Good morning and welcome to Daf Yomi, Maseches Taanit, Daf Zion, number 7. Got a great shir today. Unbelievable shir. A lot of Agadita, a lot of fun. Shmuel could not make it today because he went to Yeshiva's Torah Moshe and he's giving a weekly Parsha shir there, Divrei Chizuk. Um, I sent him another message to tell everybody that I was the reason the Yeshiva Torah Moshe started. You heard yesterday's shir. You'll understand what I said better. Yes, he's telling everybody. He's telling all the Rosh Yeshiva, all the Rabbanim. I was the reason Torah Moshe started. It's going to be an unbelievable day. I'm going to get so many phone calls today. People are going to thank me. They're going to send me donations. I should start another yeshiva. All right, let's go on. Let's start today. I'm just joking, of course. I didn't start Torah Moshe, but I was born the same year that it started. All right, the top of Zion, Amar Aleph, the second line, Amar Rabbi Abba, Gadol Yom HaGeshamim Mitchias HaMesim, greater is the day where it rains. It actually started to rain today here in Eretz Yisrael. There's low rain in the morning. Funny, discussing. I asked Shmuel yesterday if it started to rain at all here in Eretz Yisrael, and he said no. So I said, perfect. I jinxed it. I caused it to rain. All right. Believe that? I started Torah Moshe and I caused it to rain. Shvili Nivra Olam. Gal Yom HaShalom Mitzchias HaMesim, greater is the day that rains more than the day where people are revived from the dead. Yilot Tchias HaMesim L'Tzadikim. Tchias HaMesim only happens for righteous people. Yilot Gesham Ben Tzadikim El Rishoyim. Geshamim helps out righteous people and wicked people. Please, Rav Yosef, this statement argues on Rav Yosef's statement. Am Rav Yosef mitoch sheishkul k'tchias hamesim kavua k'tchias hamesim, because rainfall is equal to the revival, the resuscitation of the dead. So therefore, they put the mention of Mashiach Baruch Hu in the bracha of tchias hamesim, Azal. So Rav Yosef holds they're equal, as opposed to Rabbi Abba, who holds that the Gesham is greater than tchias hamesim. I'm Rabbi Yehuda Gadol Yom HaSham Yom Shnis about Torah. Great is the day where rain falls, like the day where Torah is given. Shenemar Yarov Kamatar Lichi. It should rain down. Torah should rain down, like rain. Ve'in lekach al Torah Lichi is a reference to Torah. Shenemar Ki Lekatov Natasi Lachem. Torah Asi Al Tazuv. I gave you a good mekach. Gave you a good purchase. What is the good purchase? Torah. Don't leave it. Rav Amar Yosem Yom Shnis about this. You see, the fact that this is Yarov Kamatar Lichi, it compares rainfall to the giving of the Torah. Rav Amar Yosem Yom Shnis about Torah. Greater rainfall, the day it rains, is greater than Har Sinai. Shenemar Yarov Kamatar Lichi. Me nitla b'mi. Heavy Omer kata nitla b'gadol. Which is depend on which. Which is compared to which? Torah is compared to rainfall, so therefore it's greater than rainfall. The katan is compared to the greater thing. Rava Rami Ksiv, Rava has two psukim which seemingly contradict each other. Yarov Kamatar Likli. Ksiv Tizal Kitalim Ras. This is also in Parashas Azinu. One compares Torah to rain, and one compares it to Tal, to dew. Im Talmud Chacham, how do you resolve this? Im Talmud Chacham Haganu, if he's a Hagun Talmud Chacham. Now, we have to understand what it means, Talmud Chacham Hagun, because the Gemara is going to discuss what Talmud Chacham Hagun is for most of this daf. Talmud Chacham Hagun, who it means seemingly the article translates as proper midos. He has good character. As opposed to Talmud Chacham Eino Hagun, it doesn't have proper character. This is going to be the Ian with Ben Sion for today. We're going to define it a little differently. Talmud Chacham Hagun is going to be somebody, like it says, a Zivuk Hagun, appropriate Talmud Chacham. Talmud Chacham has to be appropriate. He has to be appropriate to live in this world. He has to know about the world a little bit. He has to have a little amaratzis into him, know about this world, be worldly. Then he's an appropriate Talmud Chacham, someone who could mingle with people. He can talk with people in a normal way. That's Talmud Chacham Hagun, according to my explanation. So based on that, Im Talmud Chacham Hagun, who, if he is a Talmud Chacham, an appropriate Talmud Chacham, he knows a little bit about this world, Ketal, the Torah will be like a dew. It won't hurt him. If he's not a Chacham, he just learns the Torah, he doesn't know anything about this world, so then it'll be harsh, the rain will fall on him, it'll break his neck. Tanya Hayar Bina Omer. Bina says, Kolosik Torah Lishma. Anyone who learns Torah with pure motives, Torah so nasas lo sam chayim. His Torah becomes an elixir of life. It causes him to have life. Shenemar eitz chayim hil machazikim. But the Torah is compared to a tree of life. People will hold on to it. Omer refuos tehel sharecha. It'll be a refuah. It'll be a cure to your navel, like a child who was fed through his navel in the womb of his mother. Omer kimotzi matzah chayim. Someone who finds me has found life. If you learn Torah with the wrong motives, it kills you. Like it says in the Torah, Yarov. Rifa means killing. By the Egla Rufa, where someone died and we don't know which city he's from. Instead of killing someone from the city, we don't know who the murderer was. We bring an egel, a calf, to the valley, and we cut off its neck. Amalei Rav Yirmiyah Bezera Lacey Mar listening. Rav said to Rav Zera, come, my master, my rabbi, and teach us something. Amalei Chalash Libai. I'm very weak. I can't teach you anything. So then he said to him, Lema Mamar Milsa Dagarita. Say at least something that's Agarita. It's midrashic, something which is a moral teaching as opposed to halachic teaching. This is what Rabbi Yochanan said. A person in the Torah environment says is like the tree of a field. Who is a person a tree? It says about a fruit tree that you have to eat from the fruit tree. You can't cut it down. A non-bearing fruit tree, a tree that doesn't bear fruit, so then you can cut it down and you could destroy it. So how do you resolve? If he's an appropriate Talmud Chacham with knowledge of the world, don't cut him down. Eat from his fruits. If not, then you destroy him and you cut him off. It says iron sharpens iron. If you have two pieces of iron and you rub them against each other, they sharpen each other. The end of this pasuk in Mishlei talks about learning Torah. So two Talmidei Chachamim who learn with each other, they sharpen each other in halacha. Why is Torah compared to fire? My words are like fire, said Hashem. Just like fire doesn't burn by itself. If you have one log of fire, it's going to go out. You have to have multiple logs of wood to light a fire. So too, Divrei Torah, if you learn by yourself, they're not going to stay with you. A sword should be on the people that are badim, someone by themselves. They become stupid. A sword should be on the neck of the enemies that Chacham is a euphemism for the Talmidei Chacham themselves. They learn Torah by themselves. They become stupid also. They also sin. It says here they become stupid. It links being stupid with sinning. So on. The people of the Sarim, the rulers of so on became stupid. They caused Mitzrayim to sin. Amar Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak. Why is Torah compared to all wood? It's a tree of life to those who hold on to it. A small log can light up a bigger log. The small Talmidei Chachamim, even the students, could sharpen the bigger ones. I learned a lot from my Rebbeim. More than from my Rebbeim, I learned from my friends. The most Torah I learned was from teaching Talmidim. They sharpened me. The first pasuk says that a Sameh is a person who is thirsty for Torah. So you should go to that person. The teacher of Torah should go to that person to teach him. The other pasuk says that anyone who's thirsty himself should go to the teacher to be taught. Im Talmud Hagan who likra samei tumayim. If he's an appropriate Talmud Chacham, so then he should go out and teach. If he's not an appropriate teacher, then he shouldn't go out and teach. If people want to learn from him, they should come to go learn from him. The article says over here, just a proof of what I was saying over here, they learn over here that Talmud is not referring to Talmud Chacham, it's referring to the Talmud himself, which is problematic because the whole Gemara was talking about Talmud Chacham Hagun. Now we're switching to Talmud Hagun. And also according to the article, is Talmud Hagun who likra sameh tumayim. If he's an appropriate Talmud, so then you go and teach him. And if he's not appropriate Talmud, then he has to go himself to the teacher. And if he's not appropriate Talmud, he's likely not going to go to the teacher to seek Torah. If he's a drug addict, or he's off the derech, or whatever, he's having problems, he's not going to go after the rabbi. So it really doesn't make any sense that he would go after the water. I have to interpret that it's referring to the Talmud Chacham Hagun, Talmud Chacham Eno Hagun. If he's a smart Talmud Chacham, he'll be able to recruit people. If he's not a smart Talmud Chacham, he'll wait for people to come to him. He'll think everyone should come to him. He shouldn't go recruit for his yeshiva. Okay. Rabbi Chanina bar Chama Rami Ksiv Yafotzu Mayanosecha Chutza. One pasuk says that your wellspring should spread outwards. You should go ahead and teach other people. Other pasuk says that Torah should be kept for yourself. Im Talmud Hagun, if he's a Talmud Chacham, that's appropriate. I'll teach other people. He won't be afraid to tell other people his wisdom. He'll just brand himself. He'll tell everybody. He'll sprout forth his Torah. He'll go over to people and tell them a word. If he's not appropriate Talmud Chacham, he's not worldly, he's not someone who connected to people, he'll keep his Torah for himself. He'll wait for people to come ask him for Torah. He won't go ahead and spread his Torah outside. Amar Rabbi Chanina, why is Torah compared to water? Anyone who's thirsty, go to the water. Water has a property that it falls from a tall place to a low place. Torah only is retained by a person whose das is shvela. What does this mean, das shvela? Common explanation is that he's a humble person. His opinion of himself is very low. I want to say daito shvela, not exactly like it. Daito is like arshkol is an opinion. Shvela is low down, meaning he's down to earth. He's worldly. His opinion is centered in this world. He knows about world events. He knows about what's going on in the world, and his opinion is linked to the world as opposed to being ba'anonim, being in the clouds and not going on what's world. And he forms opinions that are not related to people. I'm not going to say a certain. Okay, we'll stop over there. I'm Rabbi Shai. Why is Torah compared to three? We're going to say three types of liquids. Is compared to water, to wine, and to milk. It's compared to water. It says anyone who's thirsty, go drink water. It's talking about the Torah. Go buy and eat. You can go and eat without paying to learn Torah. Torah is something you don't have to pay for. It's like compared to wine and milk. Because if you want to store milk or you want to store wine or water, they only are stored properly in earthenware kalim. After you return shvela, you have to have an opinion that's down to earth. The daughter of the Caesar said to Yeshua ben Chananya, he was a very ugly person, apparently. Yeshua ben Chananya. He says, you're a very smart person, you're a big Talmud Chacham, but why would Hashem put such wisdom in a disgusting kli and someone so ugly? It's a pretty big insult over here to call someone ugly to his face. I mean, Avicha Rami Chamra Mani de Pachra. So he retorted back to her, your father puts wine in earthenware kalim, which are lowly kalim. What should he put it? So you're a very chashuv nation, you're a very rich, wealthy nation. Put your wine in golden and silver vessels. Ramya lechamra mani to have a kaspa. So she told us to her father. Father listened to her. The Caesar listened to her, and he started putting the wine in gold and silver. The takif, it went bad. Asu v'amrule, amar la labarte man amar lachach. He said to his daughter, "Who told you that I should put it in gold and silver kalim?" Amrle Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya. So Yeshua ben Chananya karua. They called him. The Caesar called him. Amrle amaya mart lahachi. Why did you tell her to ruin my wine? Amrle ki hechida amrli amarla. Just like she tried to say that the wisdom should be in a hush of kli, so I retorted back to her. So then you should put the wine in a hush of kli. You see, just like wine isn't put in a hush of kli, it stays better in a lowly kli. So too, Torah is also in sky better in a lowly kli. So she asked him, "Hayika Shapir Digmir," but we know there's beautiful Talmidei Chacham. There's good-looking people that also know how to learn, right? I know how to learn. So the Gemara says, "Ihavu sanu tfeihavu gmiri." If they hated themselves, or if they were poor-looking, they would learn more. I don't know exactly what this means. I don't really have an explanation. Davar acher ma shlosha mashal alo inifsalin al behesach hadas. Another way of comparing Torah to these three mashkin, these three liquids, is for a different reason. Just like these three liquids only go bad, go sour, if you forget about them. After your Torah, mishtakin ela behesach hadas. You only forget Torah if you don't review it, if you don't pay attention to your learning. Amar b'chanan b'chanan agadol yom l'sham yom shnevru shamayim v'aretz. The day where it rains is as great as the day where the world was created. Shnemar harifu shamayim mimah v'shchakim yizlu tzedek tiftach eretz v'yifru yeshav etztaka tatzmiach yachad ani Hashem barasiv. Hashem says, talking about rain, the shamayim should let rain fall from the sky. It'll ensure that that salvation and charity will sprout from the ground. I created it. Barasim lo amar. Never, it doesn't say I created multiple things. Al barasim, I created a singular thing. What is it referring to? It is rain, and he calls rain a creation. And we know the Torah begins Bereshis, bara Elokim. Shemayim v'zaretz uses the word bara. Hashem created Shemayim v'aretz. He uses barasim for rain. It's comparable to the creation of the world. Amar Rav Shai Gadol Yom Hashem. The day when it rains is as great. Shafi is a great day. Shafil Yeshua Parav Aravavo. Salvation sprouts forth on the day. Shnemar Tiftach Eretz, the land will open up. V'yifru Yesha, and salvation will regenerate. Amar Vitancho Bar Chanila, Enag Sham Yarden Alakein Nimchulav and Hussein Shal Yisrael. Rain only falls unless the sins, until it starts falling once the sins of Klal Yisrael are forgiven. Shal Yisrael Shnemar Ratzisa Shem Artzacha. Shavata Shvus Yaakov Nasasa Avon Amcha Ksil Kasisa Kol Chadasam Sela. Hashem appeases the land. He makes rainfall when there's Nasias Avon, when Hashem overlooks the sins, when He covers up their sins. Amarle Zairim Dihavit, Zahiri from this place Dahavit said to Ravina, Astun Mahacham Asizullah. You learn it from the previous pasuk. Anan Mahacham Asinullah. We learn this idea from the following pasuk. Ata Kfar Tishma Shemayim Salat Lachatas, the Shemayim which brings the rain should hear what? Salat Lachatas, Hashem forgot about this, they forgave their sins. Amri Tanchum Reder Pia Ish Kfar Akko. He was from Akko, the north, Akri in English. Ein Hayasham Natzarim Elim Kain Ischaibo Sein Shal Yisrael Klaya. Rainwater is only stopped, Hashem only desists from bringing rain when Klal Yisrael is deserving of destruction. Shnemar Sia Gam Chom Yigzlu Mem Yishelek Shol Chato. Sia is dry weather. Gam Chom heat will steal the rainwater that ultimately brings snow if it's very cold. Shol Chato, because they sin so bad that they reach the depths of Shol, of Gehenna. You learn it from there. We learn it from the following pasuk. Because Hashem stops up the Shamayim, He doesn't bring rainfall, so you know that Hashem is about to destroy Klal Yisrael. Rainwater is stopped. Hashem doesn't let it rain because it's only on account of the fact that Klal Yisrael doesn't give Shumas Maisos. What's the implication of this pasuk? Taanit the Rabbi Shmuel b'shvil dvarim shezavisi as chaim mosach shama. Sia is dry weather, home is hot weather. That's during the summer where you're supposed to take Shumas and Maestros from the crops that you're harvesting. Velo asisim. You're supposed to take Shumas and Maestros, and during the winter, summer, you didn't do it. The waters that produce snow will be withheld in the rainy season. It's only Geshamim are stopped only because people speak Lashon Hara. Shneimar Ruach Safon Techolel Geshem Uponim Nizamim Lashon Seiser. You see Lashon Seiser, hidden words that shouldn't be said. So it says Ruach Safon, the northerly wind, which brings the rain, which brings the Geshem, because of hidden words that you said behind people's backs. So Lashon Hara, that stops it up. Amar of Salam, Rav Hamnuna, and Yisham, the Tzar, and Mishriel, Azei Ponim. He has a different opinion. He says rain is stopped on account of people who are brazen, have chutzpah, shnemar, vayimnu, revivim, malkosh, lahayel, metzach, isha, zona, hayalach. You had the forehead of a prostitute. A prostitute is someone who acts with brazenness. So therefore, yimnu, revivim, malkosh, rain doesn't fall because of that. Amar of Salam, Rav Hamnuna, kol adam sheyesh la'azaz panim. Anyone who has brazenness, sof nichshal b'aveira, he'll eventually end up sinning with a woman. Shnemar, metzach, isha, zona, hayalach. You had the forehead of a prostitute, implies that you were with the prostitute. Rav Nachman Amar Rav Nachman Amar Biyadua Shnichshav Avera. It's for sure that he stumbled in Avera with the woman. Shnemar Hayalacha v'lo Nemar Yelach. It's not that because you are brazen you will stumble with a woman. Hayalacha, because you are brazen like the woman, you were with her. Amar Rabba Huna Kolam Sheish Lazas Panim Mutar the Krosa Rosh. Anyone who's brazen, you're allowed to immediately call him a Rasha, a wicked person. Shnemar Hayiz Ish Rasha Bifanov. The person who had Azaz Panim, Rasha, you can call him Rasha into his face. Rav Nachman Yitzchak Amar Mutar L'Sanosa, you can even hate him. Shnemar V'ez Panov V'az Panov Yeshuna. Altiguri, he should be transformed. Someone who is brazen should be transformed. That's the literal translation. Altiguri Yeshuna, don't say it means Yeshuna, transformed. Ela Yisna, Yesuna should be with a sin, should be hated. Amar of Katina, and Hasham Netzar unless Shvil Betel Torah. Another reason, he has a different opinion. Rain is only halted on account of Betel Torah. Shnemar Batal Sai Yimach Mikra B'Shvil Yatzal Shayabi Yisrael Shalask Torah, because of laziness. The most common form of laziness is that you're not osik in Torah. Nasa Sona Shakash Baruch Mach, the enemy of Hashem, really. Another euphemism for Hashem. He became poor. Ein mach el ani. Mach is a reference to becoming poor. Shenemar v'machu merkecha. If he lacks the money to pay for the erchin that he promised to Beis Hamikdash. Ein mikra, a roof. El Hakadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem is called a roof. Shenemar hamakarav mayim al yosav. Hashem puts water above his roof. He stores the water above his roof. Yosef amar mahachav ata loro or bahir hu bashchakim ruach abra v'titarim. He's a different makar for this. You didn't see it, or bahir. Bahir is a patch of clouds. Hu bashchakim ruach abra v'titarim. There was a patch of clouds about to rain, and a wind passed by and it removed the clouds. It didn't rain. Rain or el Torah, or in this possible or you didn't see, or means you didn't learn Torah. In reverse to Torah, Shnemar Kiner mitzvah. Torah, mitzvahs are compared to a candle with Torah, or Torah is considered to be the light. So therefore you have patches of clouds. What is the meaning of Bahir Bashchakim? Even when the sky is patchy with clouds, and it's about to rain down dew and rain, a wind passes by and clears up the sky and won't rain because there was lack of Torah. A different explanation. The main reason rain is withheld is because people steal from each other. Shnemar al kapayim kasa or kisa, or because of kapayim, the rain was covered up. Avon kapayim kisa or. The sin of kapayim is their hands. You steal with your hands. Kisa or ein kapayim el chamas. Kapayim is a reference to chamas, stealing. Shnemar umin chamas sheba kapayim, the stolen objects which are in their hands. Vein or el matar, or here is a reference to rain. Shenemar yafitz on an oro, the clouds will let its oro, its rain, pour down for the maitakante. How do you fix this if you stole, or the rain is not coming? This is really an answer to all the different opinions of why the rain is stopped, why the rain is halted. How do you fix it? How do you get the rain to come? Yerba b'tefillah, you should have a lot. You should start davening a lot. Shneimar Rabbi Yitzav alav mafkia, Yitzav lev mafkia. They commanded him to the mafkia. And pgia al tefillah. Pgia, encountering someone refers to tefillah. Shneimar b'atal tispal b'aramazeh. B'altif could be Hashem says to Moshe, don't pray for these people of Klal Yisrael. B'altif could be don't pray excessively. Amar Rabbi Ami mind yichsiv him kahabarzel v'im lo panim kilkel. If the iron becomes dull and without face, it becomes destroyed. Imra'isa rakia shakia kabarzel. If you see a sky that becomes dull like iron, lahora talamater, it's not raining. B'shvil ma'aseh ador Hashem k'kalan. The reason it being is because the actions of that generation are distorted. Shenemar v'hulo panim kilkel. Hashem doesn't turn to them because they're makalkel. They destroy their actions. Maitakantam. How do you fix this? Yiskuru rachmim again. You should rachmim is another word of tefillah. You should be strong in tefillah. Shnimar v'chelim yigbar v'yisron akashir chachma kol shekanim hukshru masein mikara. V'chelim yigbar lashon of gvura and tefillah v'yishron hukshir chachma. And the Gemara adds kol shekanim hukshru masein mikara. If the reason being is because there wasn't proper actions, but if there was proper actions originally, you never had a problem having no rain. Okay, we're going to stop for today. That'll be the end for today's daf. Hope you enjoyed today's daf. Leave me some comments, give me some love, like and subscribe. And see you online. Check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And hopefully soon, I'm putting in a petition that I should be able to put up my shiurim on Torah Anytime and Torah Anytime app, TorahAnytime.com. Because once my shiurim get on there, there's no turning back. Everyone's going to be listening. See you soon. Have a good Shabbos. Bye.